Hello and welcome to the 7th stream of my trip from Alpha to PLEX. Hello and welcome to the 7th stream. It seems that sound is okay, so we can now continue. And today I'm going to again start with factional warfare, and I hope today to reach some amount of wealth that can be first reinvested into trading, and I will be setting up the trade route between Jita and Amar to gain our first ISK as in the form of passive income over time between streams. But first, let's check out what's going on in the factional warfare. I have had my settings reset recently because of reinstallation of my client. And yes, last time I had an issue with launcher, so I had to redo installation of my client, so it wasn't possible to stream, unfortunately. But now it seems to be working fine, and we can continue. So the system has been captured by Minmatar Republic, so there is no more reason for us to be here, since the last time when it still wasn't under Amar control. Let's check out what we have in terms of other systems nearby and overall level. Okay, so we are actually in tier 5 of Minmatar Conquest, which means that we have whooping 225 bonus loyalty points, 225%, so everything that we do is three times plus more pain than it was before. Let's check what can we earn today. Let's hope that there are some systems that we can still capture without getting much attention from enemy militia. Okay, one moment, I will set up my game screen in a proper way. Okay, no enemies in the system, but we still need to set things up, and it would be a good idea to have safe spot first of all, and disable the in-game music. Directional scanner again, of course, this is one of the most important tools. Checking the angle, and our probe scanner. Okay, now we should be good to go. And And what do we have? And whom do we have in the system? Okay, first of all, let's ignore some trash. There is one novice outpost, and it has been triggered before by someone, but at the moment there are no people in the directional scanner, so we can probably safely go there and check it out. Plus 4 people from friendly alliance, and they are all Minmatar Republic Tribal Liberation Force, which is not good. 3 Arises and a Dramiel. This contact has been done partially already, so, and these frigates are not interested in us, which is good. So today the payout for one novice outpost is 32,000 or even more, yeah, probably 32,500 million is, no, sorry, 32,500,000. So if we can complete this one in, say, 15 minutes, that would be enormous. Okay. If online has reset itself to high settings, I don't usually play on high settings because of streaming and because of any potential hiccups it might have in Linux side, but apparently today it works just fine. Okay, Tristan. There are no objects nearby at 1 AU, so if it appears in 1 AU range, it means that it is at least checking out this complex. Okay, we will have to spend more time than 10 minutes doing this one, unfortunately, because it has been already partially captured by someone, by some of the defenders to be specific. Hello. So far the system seems to be quite calm. There is just one new neutral, but otherwise the 3-stun has not done anything, and yeah, this neutral is apparently on holder, so we don't care about them. Almost boring, but realistically that's the best scenario for you to make money. When nothing happens and you can just peacefully capture spaces, capture beacons, get payouts, and then go out and cash these loyalty points into ISK. So in last stream we have established already a second character that has a hauler. It's a badger, if I'm not mistaken, and we have been hauling a little bit of commodity goods. This is quite stable income source, but it's not as good in terms of ISK per hour as Factional Warfare. At least if your Factional Warfare is at tier 3, then yeah, hauling is not as profitable. But at the same time, Factional Warfare is a little bit unstable because you might one day capture a lot of complexes and have a very good payout, and on the other day you will have people interrupting you all the time and you will complete 1, maybe 2 complexes a day, and that's not enough. Another problem with Factional Warfare, at least if you are doing it offensively, is that you obviously cannot rely on complexes being captured or being capturable for you, because you basically start with a system with hopefully 1 novice outpost, you do it and then you have to wait until it responds. Unfortunately, it appears that our frigate at least is not capable of destroying destroyer class enemies, and this means that we are very limited in what we can actually complete. So we'll have to do it multi-boxing way. We can of course create another factional warfare character. That would be one solution, but we can do at the same time factional warfare and hauling, so maybe there is no need to do a lot of factional warfare at the same time. It's interesting, it feels like there has been more enemies spawning in previous streams per complex, because right now we have only 2 frigates. I recall having 3 or even 4 NPC ships per complex. I wonder if something happened recently in the patches. But it might be just random. Okay, no opportunities for us. Very interesting. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Just as in previous ones, we are continuing with factional warfare, and since it's probably going to be this one novice outpost for now, and then there will be some delay between they respawn. Yep. Then we are going to do some hauling in the process. Okay, so what's the payout? Okay, so today the payout is 32,500 loyalty points for Novice Complex. That's the maximum value you can get, because we are now at tier 5 in Factional Warfare. And this means that, yeah, now we need to wait some time. Every time the amount that have been, when we have completed this one, and let's try in, let's say, 10 minutes first. Meanwhile, let's log out, actually quit the game, and log into our hauler account. And then another thing is, how much do we have? We now have 72,000 loyalty points, so one Scythe has been 45,000, so we need at least one more Novice Complex to get out 2 more Scythe. Scythe fleet issue is our currently preferable way of cashing out loyalty points. Quite fast and cheap, and it's possible to do without any extra hauling ships. But we're going to actually use a hauler, the one that we're using currently for commodity hauling, so we're going to take that one, buy the necessary items, basically 2 Scythe hulls and chips, and then we're going to take them to Hack, exchange them, and haul the converted hulls manually, not in the hauler. But that's after a second Novice outpost. Today's stream might be actually quite long. I plan to stream at least until the downtime, and let's see if we will continue after that. So last time I have managed to do a little bit of a mishap, and I bought more spirits, I think, than I wanted to. Yes. So right now I'm going to get back to that station first of all and pick up the spirits that I have failed to carry and buy new ones and then hold them. That is a little bit an exception to standard hauling procedures that we have. Okay, camera shake and transparency. There is slightly better offer for spirits in the next system, so probably the tool will suggest that yeah, we're going there. So we're going to pick up what we have already and then add waypoint here, and then we're going to go to Yosemite system again. Okay, this inventory system is not really well thought at the moment, but there is new EVE Online interface coming to the game. It is currently available for testing on Singularity server, but we are going to get it as an opt-in beta even on Tranquility for a while, I guess. Just as we have the new map, and we still can have an option to switch to the old map if we decide to. So what do we have? 2000, actually we have slightly less than 13,900 free in cargo, and this means that we can take 5 times that, 65,000 spirits more. And we are docking now in 10-7, and I'm going to buy right away all the stock that is available there. And in addition to that, another 14,000, or actually, yeah, let's see. How much cargo do we have left? 3,000. So yeah, we can actually get 15,000 more. That will be even like that. Oh, come on. At some point I will learn to calculate them exactly. Right now I will just set this one for sale below the sell order of the NPC price, so that would be 450, and I will sell them for 3 months. Somebody will pick them up automatically when they're going to buy those NPC orders, so our penalty is around 20,000 discs, so not much. Okay, and we are ready to head to Yosemite system. Actually, it's easier to select the other way around, things that I don't believe we are going to haul. Because usually these things don't provide anything good in terms of outcome. And we're going to search from Yosemite system to find the best route. that we can pick up. So we started this strip with 68 million, plus we already had 1,900 in those spice wine from previous strip that we have not been able to haul. So let's see what we will get at the end. I think it should be maybe around 71 million ISK. I will make this into a different window so that it keeps running in the background. And not going to freeze when I switch things. The most expensive price in this system is this station. The difference between these two is 16 ISK cents, so it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, it says only that we can sell those 45,134 items, but that's not true. In most cases you will be able to sell double this much, considering that you have enough. We only have 71,000, so that's about the limit we are going to get. Okay, the first half, and then the second half, actually significantly cheaper. So yeah, somebody already used up the first order, and we're going to change the station. After that, the tool suggests that I should go with holoreels or antibiotics, but I'm not going to. actually, because I'm going to return back to Factional Warfare and check out the state of our Factional Warfare pilot. Welcome to the stream. And now we can sell the second batch. 69,375,000. Okay, not even 70 million ISK. Yeah, those taxes cut profits for alpha accounts very significantly. So we're going to quit that account and return back to Factional Warfare. And maybe now, instead of holding commodity goods, we are going to prepare cashing out those scythes. Okay, still the same Tristan in the system. And still no novice outpost. And one has been just completed, probably by this Tristan. Okay, so we're going to do safe log off again. So it was 45 minutes. So 90 minutes after the first one, there is still no respawn. So it's more likely about half an hour. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use Eve Marketeer and check for the best scythe prices nearby. There are two scythes available in this system. I wonder if there is still some Triglavian incursion in the process. If we set here avoid Triglavian minor victory systems, we can check if there is a route. Okay, there is no route to this system. And this is Galente, again Galente, Hanit, Devoid. Of course, anything that is located relatively close to Minmatar space is also working for us. And let's have a look at the second item that we need. Is this UUB Minmatar Nexus chip. The cheapest one is actually in Hematar. And we are going to cross Galenta space anyway, so we can check out. Okay, this is just one and another one. Yeah, we can check out this system in the process. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. That's a very large trip. We can do things a little bit differently, and we can probably haul. We can check if it's profitable and if it's cheaper to build our own scythe. Link item. And how much time it will take actually. So we're going to get into Scythe Blueprint, view in industry. It's probably not a big issue to find a copy with perfect material efficiency and even time efficiency. So it will take 3 hours to produce one, and total of 8.7 million ISK in minerals under 0 material efficiency. Let's use perfect one. 7.8. So that's the real price that we can get from Jita, let's say. Yeah, let's go to Jita. This is a little bit of micro optimization of our income, but eventually, if we're going to continue with this payouts, then that would actually help us a lot. And finally, let's also check the loyalty point store, just to make sure that we're not missing out on some very good deal, like this Firetail, for example. These implants are also a very nice way to cash out, and probably since we now have quite a lot of ISK already, they will be more acceptable, because we actually can also buy this ocular filter from the loyalty point store directly. But there are probably not so many buy orders for this. $18.8. Yeah. Well, actually, why are we looking at buy order prices? We no longer are limited by the amount of cash, so we can actually look for sell order prices. That would be way more profitable for us, and especially if we're going to look not on the forge but in the main. So, Tribal Liberation Force, sell prices. What's the best offer? Republic Fleet autocannons, for example, but they have very low volume. We are looking for something with decent volume, like this Republic Fleet nuclear, for example. They offer incredible payout, but only for 6,000 per day or something like that. But this might be actually a good way to go. Let's try this out, why not? We wanted to trade after all. So in order to extract this nuclear L, we will need to actually buy the normal Tech 1 nuclear L from Jita and haul it all the way to Heck. And then we are going to change it, convert it into Republic Fleet and sell it in MR. So just to check the calculations once again here, 42,450. It actually tells that it expects this to be way more expensive than it is. Yeah. Well, that's good for us. These prices obviously are lower. So we are going to hold this, and we can hold okay, it takes 25 cubic meters to hold 5,000 of them, so we can actually hold a hell lot of them. But since there is this limitation, we probably don't want to hold like incredible amount. Maybe 30,000 nuclear L will be fine. Also, we need to consider this price as our upper limit on how much can we hold safely. So maybe, yeah, 20,000 will be enough. We'll buy this order. And I am going to be lazy and I am going to buy another 10,000 at this higher price. Okay, stack 20,000 and put them into our Badger. This is one thing, and then I am going to still buy these UUB Nexus chips, because I think that we can actually sell at least one Scythe quite cheaply. And I will also buy one UU8 Nexus chip for a Firetail. Let's just try out the market in domain if we can actually use sell orders to get higher prices for our goods. Okay. So we are well within safety limits, and let's go to Heck and maybe even buy Rifter here, because Rifter is not going to be something that I want to take an extra trip for. And cancel on docking. It has been half an hour since we have completed the novice PLEX. Let's see if it has been responded. Okay, yeah, the noise outpost is here, and there are no people in the system, so let's continue farming. If we complete this one successfully, then we will have enough money to cash out, I think, all things at once. So we will have enough money to buy one Firetail, 20,000 Republic Fleet Nuclear L, and then maybe even two Skythys. So it will be a lot for us to haul still. These kind of items look very lucrative, but maybe at the moment we are not having enough cash on our hands to just go speculate about this. In theory, we can get ridiculous ISK per loyalty point, but it will be more like ISK per speculation day, because you will have to wait a lot of time before it actually gets sold. Okay, Tengu we don't care about, and let's ignore Brex. And actually, I think control towers are also not necessary in factional warfare under Scanner. Yeah, I guess the main slowdown in capturing of those novice outposts that we had in previous streams was not due to NPCs, but more due to players. At least at the moment it seems that NPCs don't distract us that much. And maybe eventually we want to upgrade our ship a little bit to use Tech 2 guns and Tech 2 damage modules, so that we push more DPS, allowing us to clean up those frigates faster. Otherwise we barely exceed their, well, armor recovery potential. What do we have in terms of skills? So, where are small projectile turrets? This would be the first one that we actually want to level up, and maybe we can do that even now. We have a lot of extra skill points available in this character, so why not improve the rate with which we kill NPCs. Okay. The beacon is being captured. Yep, plus about 10% DPS. And then let's see if we can improve also by surgical strike. Yes. Train to level 3, 4. Remove this one from the queue and apply skill points. Okay, 70 DPS. And of course, weapon upgrades are crucial for Tech 2 damage controls. And maybe even trajectory analysis as well. At least to level 3. I need to check if we need gunnery for Tech 2 guns actually. Definitely for some battleship sized guns. But that's it. So for this one we are missing now only the specialization, but then the question is what about the charges? And yeah, also only specialization skill, so just that. We will buy it eventually together with Tech 2 guns, and we will improve our DPS by just changing these to Tech 2 versions. We will make our ship a little bit more expensive to speed things up and actually maybe make it possible to kill those destroyers. But the most important one that, yeah, weapon upgrades is it in engineering? Yes, it is. So this one we need, I think, to level 4. Yes. So let's do that. This is one of the key skills to improve our damage, because using Tech 2 damage control improves our DPS by another 5 to 10%. Okay, and for this we already have everything we need for Tech 2 version. For Tech 2 Afterburner, we need afterburners at level 4, and we don't have one even now. So let's actually add it in front of you. No. Okay, we won't be able to train this one because it requires level 4, and this skill cannot be trained beyond level 3, but we actually can apply skill points to this one. Oh no, we cannot. Yeah, that's fine. So level 4 is Omega, and we cannot get that. Not with this clone. But that's not a big loss. Let's see what else in gunnery we can actually train. Sharpshooter and rapid firing, especially rapid firing. Controlled bursts are completely unnecessary on Minmatar ships. And trajectory analysis is good to have, but probably we can save skill points for now. Motion prediction will definitely be a good addition because we are not having a very good tracking against our enemies at the moment. So let's train these skills and let's check how much faster we're going to kill this one. So we have 73.4 DPS. Tango again, we don't care about. Flying a rocket ship might be a little bit more convenient, because with rockets you don't have to actually get too close to your enemy or have any specific tracking, so at the last moments when you are finishing them you can already start approaching back to the beacon in case you have flown away. Or maybe just long range guns, but all these things actually will reduce your DPS. So from the perspective of maximizing your DPS and attempting to kill destroyers, you probably want to have some Galente ship with hybrid blasters, because those have the largest potential DPS if you manage to get them in range and into proper tracking. Meanwhile, we are 4 minutes away from another 32 million ISK, which will be another significant addition to our trading capital. But eventually the hope is that our trade will actually overtake the incomes that we are getting from factional warfare. Yes, hello. What do you think about it? Well, it is a little bit outdated because CCP changed the tax rate from 5% to 8%, and it cut out the profit. I would say about 1/3 of it. Well, good luck. I hope you get some good income. Again, comparatively to factional warfare, especially what I have right now with tier 5, hauling of course is not very good profit. but factional warfare is more like you do PvP sometimes maybe, or you try to avoid PvP as much as possible. All these things distract and reduce your profit. Okay, well, if you have level 3 accounting, meaning that you have Omega, then this should work just as well as it was before. But yeah, maybe accounting level 4 would be, and level 5 would be actually increasing your profit significantly. Because, yeah, the margin on those goods is about 15 to 25% depending on the good. And if you cut away 8% of that, that's a lot. Factional warfare is basically what I'm doing right now. It's like, well, there are 4 empires in EVE Online, and they are in constant fight between each other. So Caldari is fighting Galente, and Amar is fighting Minmatar. And basically, Galente and Minmatar have alliance, and Caldari and Amar have alliance. Basically, it's like Horde versus Alliance in World of Warcraft or any other type of MMO game, where you have 2 sides. So you are subscribing to be part of military operations on one of the sides, and then you go to special areas in low security space. You capture them, you get loyalty points as payout, quite a lot of them. Then you cash them out as you normally do with loyalty points with missions, and you get money. For example, the complex I'm doing right now will give me 32,500 loyalty points, which means basically around 32 million ISK, depending on how you cash it out. It can give you even more than that, but that's a special thing that you need to do. You basically will have to do hauling and trading by yourself. That's what we're going to attempt. The danger is, of course, that it is a low security space, and you have other people from other militia, from other army, let's say, trying to actively hunt you down, because contrary to normal low security engagement, where people attacking and killing other ships will be considered pirates, if you are at war with another militia and they kill you or attack you, they are not considered pirates. For them, it's just, well, like a normal high-sec war declaration, or basically free engagement. Concord does not interfere and there are no consequences. No, not really. That's the point. The skills here are primarily survival, and you can learn basics of survival very quickly. Just have a safe spot and learn to press directional scanner regularly so that you see if there are new ships. Check people who are appearing in local. Just your normal survival in low security or null-sec space. You don't actually have to do PvP, that's the point. You kill NPC ships, and if somebody appears on your scanner, then you just run. And you can actually see I'm doing this factional warfare from basically the first stream with this character in this series. It literally took me like 30 minutes to get into this. And yeah, you can start doing this immediately. You don't need to do much in terms of even killing NPC ships. If you start the game, you can do it with basically with killing, with protecting the complexes of your own faction. They pay out less, but they still pay out, and if you are, they don't require you to kill enemies, basically, or your own ships, for that matter. Well, you never are forbidden from creating just another character and use this 1 million skill point bonus that you get from invitation links. You can make your own invitation link if you want, and that's it. You just go create a character, you have 1 million skill points, you give them, let's say, a couple of million ISK to buy a first frigate, and you can enroll them into this factional warfare. You can see this is the feat. This is a very cheap Tech 1 level ship, and the total cost of it is 1.2 million ISK, and it can do pretty well these complexes. And we just been paid out. So another 32.5 million ISK. Now I need to wait 2 minutes 39 seconds for my NPC aggression timer to wear out, and then I can log off this character and go on with my hauling. And I can actually prepare, maybe in the process, the feat, the Tech 2 version of it. So we have 150mm ones here. Let's see if we can fit 150mm Tech 2. Yes, so far so good. And a gyro stabilizer. Tech 2. And what about our navigation? We can have Tech 2 inertia stabilizer as well. 2.7 seconds. Doesn't make much difference. Yes, it does. One tick. Okay, that will be 4 million ISK with Tech 2 version. And we can use then Hail as charges. That will give us 125 DPS, which is very good. So let's save it as Factional Warfare Tech 2. And let's buy it the next time we are around Heck. And maybe we can kill also destroyers. Also, if you see something like this in your scanner, besieged covert research, this is one of very nice place in low security space that you can deal with. I personally don't know how to, so you will have to find some guides, but people say that they pay out quite nice in low security space. And as you can see, this factional warfare area, at least at the moment, is quite safe. Okay, the timer is out. Using log off safely, quit. And the time 0823. So let's say at 0821 we have killed this. So at 51 minutes we can return and try killing yet another novice outpost. I have accidentally started the process of creating a new character. Don't want to. Okay, once again double checking our cargo. Yes, we have what we want on dock. We will have to fly manually, obviously. And probably I should have bought inertia stabilizers, because we really have a lot of empty cargo. But well. Let's see if I can catch any inertial stabilizers along the route. There are some here in Tranquility Trading Tower, or even in this Caldari station. Type D, also available. I think I will use 2 Type Ds, just to speed things up. Otherwise, I would say that just because you put some skill points into industry and mining on this character doesn't mean that you cannot specialize in factional warfare. Just the thing is that factional warfare does not even require you to have combat skills if you are doing defensive plexes. It's a little bit more problematic from the perspective that you will be at war with half of the universe, so if you are doing some hauling with the character, then it's not really that convenient. But other than that, there are no issues. This station is set up very nicely to have instant warp out in direction of this Rulen Stargate. Which means that we only wasted 1 align time to get to station. And now the align happens much faster. So we currently have 6.4 seconds, contrary to 10.5. So we are cutting 4 seconds every jump. and we can check out this 10,000 skill points bonus. Why not? I wonder how much those daily alpha boosters are now costing. Daily alpha injector. So 44.79 million ISK per 50,000 loyalty skill points. Yeah, still more expensive than PLEX, obviously. Hello, so while holding, everybody is telling me about short align times and the cloak trick being essential to survive. How about arriving at the next gate? Can I be killed arriving? Technically yes, but unless you are flying a very squishy ship, you should not be. The only way to kill a warping ship, the ship that just warps out, like this slowdown period, is to use smart bombs, because smart bombs don't require targeting. Otherwise, your ship is pretty much invulnerable right until the point when you actually can activate the gate. So when you are arriving, if you just use this jump button, then the moment your ship can jump, your autopilot will do that, and at the same time, this is the moment where you start being vulnerable. So potentially you can be killed, but that's very unlikely. People don't have this kind of locking speed unless there is some lag or, I don't know, some kind of negligence on your side. Not possible. On the other hand, it is not really essential to have cloak trick for hauling. You can also haul with Sunesis. Sunesis is a great ship in the sense that it allows you quite decent cargo, 1,200 cubic meters. That's not much, but that's a lot if you are hauling valuable things. And this ship allows you to have sub 2 second warp out time, which means that there is no ship in game that can lock you up and destroy you. So they can lock you, that takes 1 second at the minimum, because the game rounds all actions to 1 second intervals. And when they need second to activate guns on you, and that will not happen if you warp out by the end of that second. There is a video on the channel about Sunesis, so you can check that one out, and me demonstrating how you can use it to actually fly between Jita and Damar. I think just 11 jumps it takes to get using the straight path. The only danger there is that you can be killed by a smart bomb battleship, but again, I have not seen many such cases happening, and from my personal experience that's also not really likely. Otherwise, Sunesis travel in high security space is extremely fast and as safe as you would be in any cloaked frigate or cloaked transport ship. Even more safer than in cloaked transport ship for sure. we are going to arrive very soon. I think after we arrive to Hack, I will dock up in Tribal Logistics Support and I will transfer all these items to our Factional Warfare character together with Isk. And after that, I will switch back to that character, check out if there is any novice outpost, if it has spawned. I will do that, and then after I do it, or if it is not possible to do for some reason, like for PvP reasons, then I will just travel to Hack, do Factional Warfare exports, and then refit the frigate into Tech 2 guns. And we need our all contacts. This is our actual character. Well, yes, of course, if you need to hold higher volumes, then Wrath with Cloak Trick is a decent solution until you have skills to feel the proper deep space transport. That's definitely a solution. By the way, there is another ship that you might want to check out. That would be actually Orca. Orca does not need cloaking trick because it has enough tank with proper configuration to haul quite expensive stuff, about half as much as freighter, so 700-600 million ISK easily. And then it has like 70,000 to 120 cubic meters, depending on, again, how you configure it. But the most important part is that Orca can use, well, it can actually use, I think, this Cloak MWD trick, and it can still actually just use 100 meganewton MWD, I think, or afterburner, to expedite its departure. So normally it has about 30 seconds of align time, but if after aligning you just cycle once your micro warp drive, then it will warp out by the end of that cycle. And that makes it quite fast hauling ship for the capacity that it holds and for the protection that it offers. Definitely not a low sec hauler though. Okay, what do I have? Yeah, this one. We'll have 10 more minutes before the respawn of the complex. Unless it responds faster than I expected. Yep, you're welcome. Orca is a great hauler and a great ship overall. I used to live in Orca, or actually multiple Orcas in wormhole space. It's just irreplaceable as expedition support. For the price that you pay for it, it is offering you, well, the flexibility of a fitting tool, cargo space, and then ship hangar, the most important part. And it is universal ship hangar, not industry oriented, so you can have 3 cruisers fitted and stored inside Orca, and all materials and guns next to them. So contract. Private item exchange, I will drag my name here. And Drifter, next 1 day. Orca plus a POS is almost equal to a Citadel. No, not really. Hauling contracts are usually just trash. That's my opinion on it. I don't think that people are paying well enough, and most people are holding very small volumes and they expect things to be delivered very quickly. So yeah, in many cases hauling by yourself is the only way to ensure that things are done fast enough. I think the biggest problem with hauling contracts is that you cannot have sub 1 day durations on them. If it was possible to set up like a hauling contract that should be fulfilled within 3 hours, I think both the prices on those contracts would have been higher, motivating people hauling, and a lot more people would have used them because, well, when you can deliver things, when you can ask someone to deliver you things within 3 hours, that sounds like a reasonable request. Not 24 hours, obviously. Competition hours in Hauling Advisor means how many items are currently on sale compared to daily average. So if you see that there is 18 hours of worth of items left, it means that if nobody brings anything, in theory, then within 18 hours on average it will sell out completely, meaning that there will be no competition at all by that time, and you can have any price. So items that have less than 24 hours worth of supply are usually the ones that you want to deliver to as soon as possible. Contrary, of course, if you have competition more than several days, I think the tool does not display that, but for items that do have such volumes on sale available, you obviously don't want to haul, because then you will just be competing against other players all the time, and they will be undercutting you until they sell all this stuff out. Like, not exactly the need, but more like the urgency of supply, basically. And the lower the number is, the lower is the chance that you will be actively undercut by someone. Not that it happens often now with this system where you have to pay broker fee on every change, but still, if the number is like 3-4 hours, it means that there is barely anyone supplying that item. And even if they undercut you, you can just sit for 3 hours and let them sell this item, and you will get higher profit margin. I wonder if somebody is doing this small outpost here. Let's check it out. With narrow scanner. And yeah, the Tristan is inside. In 5 minutes or so, there should be new spawn of a novice outpost. And once it's there, we're going to go inside. And yeah, if I'm right, then we will also see this complex spawning exactly in 30 minutes after we have completed it, which means that we will get valuable intel about how often they respawn. And we will no longer need to wait after we have completed one of them. We will know for certain that, yeah, we can just get into the system right on time and get into a new complex. Which in itself opens the road to actually having more than one factional warfare character at a time, sitting in different systems and doing different plexes, or maybe even types of plexes, or maybe even being in different militias. Yep, you're welcome, and I will definitely try to. EVE is a unique game in the sense that you have this vast economy that is powered by human brains, and comparatively to any other MMO that is just beyond anything imaginable. There are basically no NPC interference into the economy, and everything is player powered. Yeah, and that means that basically you have to apply human tools to analyze markets. You have to apply human logic to analyze where things should be sold and bought. And yeah, I'm personally playing EVE Online for more than 10 years now, and I'm sick of people just trading and doing industry around Jita. I'm tired of that. It's like a meme, like anti-meme. If you want to do industry, you go to Jita. That's all. No brain activity required. But that's wrong. That's really wrong. You need to set up local production, because there is very huge problem with logistics between Jita and Damar nowadays, especially. And there are still many players living in Damar, so you want to have people... You want to have production where people are. You want to buy things that they produce locally, and produce locally. Okay, Novice Outpost. Just on time, 49 minutes. So it's exactly 30 minutes respawn. Okay. I used to have industry in Namor, and the biggest problem is, of course, that if you are starting right now doing industry, you have very good supply lag. Basically, you can sell things at very high prices in Namor hub, but your resource lag is not very good, because you need to haul some things, at least from Jita. But I think now that I know about Sunesis, I could have been even more effective with that. Previously I was using Orca to supply things, but now I know that, for example, most expensive stuff for reverse engineering, these can be hauled by Sunesis very quickly, like rapid delivery. And then for Tech 2 production, you also need those moon materials. Those can be also delivered with Sunesis efficiently. And finally, the only bulk item that you are going to import would be minerals, but nowadays even minerals can be like used and delivered in compressed form. So you buy compressed materials, hold them into Orca's mineral bay, which is enormous, and you hold them in the basically packaged state in this way. And you can hold, even with Orca, easily 700-600 million ISK worth of minerals from Jita to Omar quite rapidly. Well, you're stuck until you decide to quit. I think the minimal interval in which you can change whether you are involved in military operations or not is 24 hours. So if you are quitting, then for the next 24 hours you cannot rejoin. And at the same time, if you have just joined, you will have some 24-hour delay if you decide to leave. But that's not guaranteed, I think. Maybe you can even leave at any time. But rejoining should be definitely limited. Basically the same rules as with applying to any corporation. So when you are joining Factional Warfare as a character, you actually join a corporation. That is NPC run, but you can see we have 68 people online in this corporation. And yeah, you don't have to be worried that you will be ever kicked from it. But this corporation is actually at war, and that's how you get to war. And at the same time, if you are enrolling as a corporation by yourself, so you are a director of a corporation, you can get into Factional Warfare, the whole corp, then you will become part of Factional Warfare Alliance. And then I think the rules are basically as for joining alliances. Moro. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking very well Finnish, but nice to hear Finnish people here. But you can write in Finnish. I read well. Yes, that's the only big downside. So if you are a part of player corporation and you decide to join Factional Warfare, you will not be just kicked, you will leave by yourself. So basically it means that you either have to take the whole corporation with you, or you have to have a separate character. Which is actually probably the easiest way to do it. Well, I think it's unpopular to say nowadays, but yeah, I'm from Russia. Condor. I have seen this symbol on Tristan. Maybe somebody from the same group of people, or even the same player. Okay, so this person have completed a small outpost. It's 56 minutes. In theory, we can try killing that destroyer once we get tech 2 guns, but I don't think that we will be here back quickly enough. But let's see. So first of all, we will have to get to hack, and then back here. And they're gone. Interesting. Well, you cannot do that, unfortunately. You can try to look for systems where there are not so many enemy players, but I guess that's quite hard to achieve. So the contest rate here, you can see it is basically, well, just timer. If you get in, it starts ticking. If enemy gets in, it starts ticking the other way. So this can have from anywhere from 10 to, well, sorry, from 0 to 20 minutes when I arrive. Normally it has 10 by default, if nobody has entered the system. And if enemies have counted something, then I have to take that time back before I can start actually capturing it. Now the problem is, if you are meaning like this contested state for the system itself, then when you are doing offensive plexing, you don't really care. Offensive plexes pay out the same amount regardless of how contested the system is. If it is stable or it is 100% contested, I think actually at 100% you will stop getting any payouts. But other than that, so far it is in between, even 99%, it's still fine. For defensive plexing, it does matter. Defensive plexing pays out most when you have highly contested system that you are defending. So if your system is at 99% and you go there and you do a defensive plex, you get about 75% of the maximum payout without having to kill any NPCs, with basically minimal risks for yourself. But at the same time, as you do those plexes, you reduce the contested rate and you reduce your payout. Not very quickly. I think alone it's not really possible to do significant decremental of contested percentage during the evening. But maybe by 5-10% a day, something like that. Now, when you are hitting around 50%, doing defensive plexing makes no sense anymore, because you get more payout from doing offensive novice outposts from doing any other defensive plex, because for defensive plex you can do any size, because you don't have to kill the NPC. You basically are only losing the protection from enemy players in terms of size of the complex, but again, you get protection if you are in a frigate by your agility, by your ability to just move faster and so on. So you don't have to care about these things. But the point is, when you are in a defensive plex, you can do plexes with battle cruisers, and they pay out more per minute. They also take more time to complete, so you have more at stake, and the net reward grows also significantly, but basically that's the logic. The most important thing is that you don't have to kill NPCs, don't have to waste time with what I'm doing right now. No, people are now reporting that there is payout for Factional Warfare mission. For level 3 you get 20,000 loyalty points, for level 4 65,000 loyalty points per mission. Great, welcome. By the way, for people who are subscribing or who considering subscribing, there will be a raffle as with any other stream. Today I will be raffling 3 packages for 100 million ISK from my previous trading exercises, and I will do that maybe, well, before the downtime for sure, so within the next hour. So basically you go to activities, factional warfare, and here you have a summary of the state of all systems that are involved in this factional warfare. It's obviously not all of them, and the ones that are highlighted in blue belong to your allies, basically to your alliance and factional side. So you go there and you can sort by capture state and you look for the most contested one. So right now we have this raw system at 20% contested rate. That's not much, obviously, so we're not going to go there. But if you are a defender and you see something like 50% and it says blue here, then yeah, that's a good place to farm defensive plexes. And contrary, if you are looking for offensive ones, then you just sort by jumps and look for the nearest red one. Preferably something that does not have this level inside. This level is basically the upgrade amount that other players have invested into the system, because this gives the opportunity to actually, well, get some bonuses other than loyalty point rewards. So 104,000. Yeah, we'll have a lot of loyalty points. Well, that much I don't know. I think everything can be scanned, even in a secure container. But the point is, even if it cannot be scanned, it is a big red flag for anybody who is trying to gank ships. So if you are hiding items, and there is such mechanics that allows you to hide items, the people who are ganking, they will know about it. And they will just see this container, and they will kill you because you have that container. The same unfortunately goes to, I think, those blockade runners, Tech 2 industrials. They are having innate immunity to scanning. Basically, you cannot get information about their cargo, but they are protected at least by a cloak, by Covertop's cloak, so they can more or less safely travel through high security space. They just align and cloak and warp out before anybody gets to them. But at the same time, yeah, this kind of cargo containers, if you are not using a cloaked ship, then you are putting yourself into very, very huge risk. So I would not recommend using that. Same actually goes to double wrapped parcels. There is technique of hiding items without even cargo containers. You can just create a courier contract and it will create a parcel with all the items within that contract. and then you take that parcel and put it into another courier contract. That makes it double wrapped. This is for sure cannot be scanned with cargo scanner. Okay, 3 Sunesis on the scanner. Hunting someone. But again, double wrapping contracts, courier contracts, is a bad sign for any high security ganker. They see double wrapped parcel, they will try to kill you. Okay, let's head to hack and then return to this system. Yes, they can still destroy the container and get its contents. I think normal loot rules will apply, so in theory maybe you can reduce the amount of drop they receive, but I don't think that it works that way even. Needs to be tested. Maybe at some point I will make a short test during the stream. Basically just take a cargo container into a noob ship and self-destruct in space and then see what will happen to the container itself. Because as far as I recall, it should become basically anchored in the space, and regardless of the password you should not be able to just hide items there. Okay, and I should have a contract assigned to me, and I actually forgot to plug in something to train. Let's put CPU management to level 5 and capacitor management. These are 2 good skills, very useful for us, and we can have weapon upgrades at the end. It's important now that we have unlimited, well, virtually unlimited, limited only by 5 million skill points queue in training for alpha clones. It is important to have skills plugged in, because basically, well, that's all you can do, and that helps a lot. If you are not logging in every day, you can have these 90 days of training time, and at the end of that training time you are guaranteed to have 5 million skill points, which ensures that you can have very cheap Omega subscription after that, by using skill extraction to compensate for your expenses. So yeah, contracts, 1 contract assigned to me. And I forgot to transfer disk. Sure. Well, I will dock and then I will relog to another character and transfer money. Okay, and let's exit the game. Switch to our trader. Okay, and transfer. Yeah, give money. I think we can give all. If you are worried that you are getting, for example, banned for transferring money between characters, if you have multiple accounts, then don't. CCP has quite advanced algorithms at detecting real money trading, so if you are having a set of alts and they log in from the same IP address and you casually transfer money between these accounts, then there is no reason for CCP to suspect that you are trading any cash for real money. But of course you should not do that with other people. Okay, now we have this money. Let's get Firetail. And then we brought up, what was the nuclear L, and we are going to get 4 of those. Okay, and now the question is, do we have a scythe nearby? And do we have this UUB Nexus chip? Yeah, we have one here, so we can actually exchange a scythe. Yeah, these are quite expensive. And the blueprint original is also quite as well. What's about the cheapest one available nearby? Well, never mind. Let's see if we can get one in domain. Meanwhile, we can create a contract and deliver these Republic Fleet items to domain. And I'm going to use my contract history to just ensure that I'm getting contract to the right character. Okay, and I will exit this character, go to the trader. This time I'm going to actually set up a medical clone on the station, and I will use this firetail to haul items directly to domain. Of course, the question is if those will fit 500. In theory, I think it can be arranged. We will need a little bit of cargo hold expanders. And I'm going to Amar. 26 jumps. What's with cargo here? 135. Maybe not so good idea. Yeah, even with 3 cargo hold expanders, that's not possible. Fine. Then Badger. Badger it is. Yes, sure. As you can see, I have now 7 accounts on launcher. You can also group them so that you can start a lot of clients at the same time if they are all Omega clients. Okay, let's return now to Factional Warfare character, feed tech 2 items, give up the rest of the cash, and see if we can destroy, if we can now kill Destroyer with tech 2 guns. Sure, you can have as many alpha account alts as you want. I have seen one person actually having a lot of different alts on one of their high-sec citadels, and they use them actually for PvP actively by basically jumping between them. That looked very funny, but it's an interesting diversion tactic. Well, plexing a lot of accounts is a little bit dangerous. The problem is that every time you plex something, even if you use a trick with skill extraction, so if you effectively turn your character into a skill farm, you still need to pay some 300-400 million ISK per month. And if you don't make up this ISK in a month, then that's not worth it. Quite simple. Well, factional warfare is decent. It is a little bit difficult to make factional warfare for, let's say, more than 2 or 3 accounts at a time, because you need to pay a lot of attention to directional scanner and local. Otherwise, you will be killed. You can, in theory, have all your characters at once in the same system, but they cannot be in the same plex. So you will have to do defensive plexes for that. Also, for factional warfare, if you are doing it in one account, you don't really need to have Omega. You can do just well with Alpha. Okay, and jar stabilizer. And then last item that we will need to check would be hail. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that makes sense. That's perfectly valid approach, actually. then you can switch between your industry hauling character and factional warfare character, basically doing the same as I do right now. It's like clone jumping on steroids. CCP does have the mechanic for you to have like one character doing everything in different parts of the universe, but it is so limiting in terms of cooldowns that you really, well, you don't want to do it that way, let's say. You can, but you will allow them to retaliate. Every time you attack a player, even if they are a criminal, regardless, the criminal or suspect doesn't matter, this allows them to fight back. You get blue timer that is called limited engagement, and only them can attack you. Well, I mean, they don't actively oppose it. I think they are quite pro having alts, even though they also try to make people cooperate a lot. But for CCP, you know, if you have an alt account, eventually that might become an Omega alt account. So money doesn't really stink. They think it's fine. There is no policy that prevents you from having as many alts as you want. There is no policy, and actually CCP have stated that many times, that it's perfectly fine to have 20-30 Omega accounts at the same computer doing mining in a fleet. Some people even manage to do PvP in a fleet, but there is one restriction for PvP. When you have more than one account, you have to do all inputs by yourself, meaning you cannot replicate mouse clicks to multiple clients, you cannot replicate keyboard shortcuts to multiple clients using software. You have to click everything by yourself. And this means basically, yeah, you cannot do very effective PvP. For mining that works because it's not very intensive activity. And you can alt tab between accounts or even have like 5 different clients, 6 clients per monitor. If you are playing as an alpha, actually the best thing that you can have from current mechanic with 1 million skill points is to have 1 million skill point alt specialized in every role. So you can have 1 million skill point alt specialized in factional warfare, 1 for hauling, 1 for exploration, 1 for maybe even mission running somewhere in high security space if you like to do that sometimes, 1 for mining. Well, you cannot mine a lot, but you can still have specialization. And yeah, maybe even 1 for industry, within the limits of alpha account, of course. But still, that's all perfectly valid. And then eventually, because 1 million skill points is not that much, you might just join all skills on your main or 2-3 main accounts, and that's it. My personal main accounts, not the ones that I'm using for streaming, I have 6 characters. I think one of them is still a dummy that does not have a lot of skill points, but 5 others are basically have at least some degree of specialization in industry. So if I'm plexing 1 Omega account, I get 3 industrial characters. and I can use all perks of having 3 industrial characters, meaning that I have like about 20 production lines per one account. Then industry stops being a problem in terms of how many accounts you have or how many characters you have, but becomes a problem of just managing this stuff. Sure. Just from current computations, I would say that you can do around 60 million ISK if you do just factional warfare, so 60 million ISK an hour, and PLEX, if it is your first 2-3 plexes, that will cost you 1.5 billion, so 30 hours. And after that, if you do skill point extraction, that's just 5 hours. So because you will have to spend only 300-400 million as complex if you extract skills. The rest will be basically you either leveling up skills, ships, or buying assets that you need. So Novice Outpost is not here yet. Let's check out the small one. Let's see if we can kill a destroyer now that we have 132 DPS. Yes, sure. You just need to go to account management and find that create invitation link for friend. And from there you will basically get that link, use it to create your account, alt account, and you will get 1 million skill point. And if at some point you will decide to add Omega to that account, then you will get half an Omega onto your main account as a bonus. So it's quite neat. Okay, we can kill a destroyer. Nice. So 15 minutes. Let's see if we can do this medium outpost, because medium outpost, if we do it, let me check the wiki for factional warfare. I think it should be somewhere around 60 million, is basically 60,000 loyalty points at this tier. 1,875 per PLEX in 15 minutes basically. Let's see if there is anything valuable in the break. 1 million ISK from tag. Awesome. Free money. I think those tags are actually dropped like 100% of the time because they are factional rats. So another small bonus. Okay, so novice outpost is respawned, but we are now involved with this small one, so let's continue while there is opportunity to get some decent cash. And not so many people in the local. Optimal on this one is 600 meters, so at 600 meters we are going to deal perfect DPS, but it's a little bit difficult for our ship to keep exactly at 600, so it oscillates a little bit between 600 and 1000. But doesn't matter, so long as we kill it in a reasonable amount of time. Someone in the local. No ship on scanner. NPC corporation. Rifter. Okay, let's hope that this person is not interested in killing us. Okay, this I don't like. Okay, they have left. At least somewhere to some other outpost. It's interesting. So they're probably sitting on the ruined Minmatar outpost beacon or medium outpost beacon. I don't think that it is reasonable to expect a Rifter to be able to kill a medium outpost, because those scale up still in terms of the amount of damage you need to do. And yeah, once again, if you're doing factional warfare, even though this person is marked by this violet sign, it means that they are technically in our friendly alliance. Because they are in an NPC corporation, there is no good trust for us that they are not trying to just pretend to be an ally to get easier catch. People do that quite often. Still sitting somewhere nearby, but not within one astronomical unit, meaning that they are not even close to the gate, and we can keep farming and contesting this complex. Just need to be very vigilant, because if they appear in directional scanner, we will have maybe 20 seconds to react in the worst case. The interesting thing is that this is a rifter. There is a novice outpost in the system that they can contest easily and get some money, but they don't do that. This is a red flag from my perspective, because if this person is not interested in farming, they are probably interested in killing ships. And it doesn't really often matter who to kill, because you can always say that, okay, this guy tried to steal my complex. And then another question, of course, it's possible that they are just sitting there somewhere waiting for us to do the complex for them, but that also is not extremely realistic, because they could do another complex at the same time and get both. Meanwhile, we have managed to do 3 million ISK from NPC tags. So basically these NPCs have a payout of a very good battleship. If you kill any battleship in, like, on a belt or in a mission. Oh, also some other items drop. Not very valuable ones, but still. This is a metaphor laser. Probably that's what they use in MR military. Poor people. So we will do raffle after this complex, regardless of the outcome. If I abandon it because of something, or if I capture it, either way I will log out this character and I will start collecting signatures for the raffle. And the way we do it here is that you need to be subscribed to the channel to participate, and the channel chat will be turned into subscribers only mode. The minimal time that you have to be subscribed is about 5 minutes, so you have some advance warning that you need to subscribe if you want to participate. And then you will need to type the in-game name of your character, and if there are less than 3 characters, then I will just give out those prizes to people who are participating. That was the case in the last raffles. But if there will be more than 3 people, so like 4 and more, then I will make an in-game raffle with some low value item. And to participate, you will have to also log in and join a channel of Pterapy, and you will be able to participate and click the link and buy the item, basically buy the tickets for that raffle. Okay, so they are not even on the close range scanner anymore, somewhere between 5 and 10 AU. A little bit too much damage from Destroyer came in, so had to use a little bit of booster. But our ship is almost capacitive stable, so we can run this booster for quite a significant amount of time. And even when it basically gets to the bottom of our reserve, we can still cycle about half of the time. How many wrecks do we have? Or actually tags, I would say. So 5. Okay, so Novice Outpost is now open, which suggests that this Rifter is now doing this Novice Outpost. Okay, another destroyer. Hopefully this will be the last one. Not that I don't like the tags that cost 1 million ISK, but still they delay the process of farming this complex down quite significantly. And yeah, killing them is relatively simple because they don't do much damage. We don't really have to be worried about them killing us. If they get too much shield, we can use a little bit of booster, but even that is probably unnecessary. We can probably just shield tank them. But the most important part is that, of course, we need to keep approaching them, and we need to ensure that our guns keep shooting at as much damage as possible. I wonder where we can sell those. Who buys? There are buyers in Jita. There are buyers in Hack. Nice. So we can basically just cash them out right away in Hack at slightly less than 1 million ISK per tag. I think those are different tags. What you are talking about is, as far as I know, tags that fall from pirates. And there are special tags from pirates that drop in low security space, yes, and those will bring up your security status. But for the tags that I am getting now, these are just factional warfare tags. Hey, I want to approach this and kill it. So how do I apply skill points to the alt? When you are going to create your first character, you will have redeemable item somewhere here, and there will be this 1 million skill point bonus that you just need to select and pick up option to redeem to your home station. It will be applied to the character immediately. If in doubt, you can check the very first stream of this series. I did that, I think, around minute 5 or so in the stream. So just like this, but you will have a larger package than 25,000. And these factional warfare tags, these are actually usually used up in loyalty point checkouts. So both in factional warfare loyalty point shops and in mission loyalty point shops. You don't. You have the link, and you open that link in the browser. And when you open that link in the browser, it will prompt you to create an account. Once you have that form, you just create the account using that form, and you get that 1 million skill point on your account. No. You will get when you create this friend invite, you get a link, and you get this link. You just copy paste that link into any browser, even the one where you have just created it, and that's enough. Well, you can make another one. There is no limitation how many accounts you can have per email, for example, so you don't have to come up with any new emails for that purpose. Just use your name and surname like real ones, so that TCP can identify in case you need to recover your account. Okay, and that's another 56,875 loyalty points for us. Awesome. So we now have about 174 million ISK in loyalty points. I think it's a good time to stop doing factional warfare for now and start actually cashing this stuff out and start doing trading a little bit. So yeah, we are now waiting 2 minutes, then I will be relogging to start the raffle, and meanwhile we can actually switch the channel into subscribers mode so that you can start typing your names, and that would be starting from now. So the channel is now in the subscribers only mode, so please type your in-game names if you would like to participate in the raffle. And I will find a better place to stop my account, because we are now too close to this medium outpost. Still bad place. It's a small system. Great. And both novice and small PLEX have been done at around 59 minutes, so okay, so we have 3 participants at least. That's good. Will there be more? I can now log off. and switch to the trader account which has cash for the raffle. So let's say we will start raffle in 8 minutes, so when it hits 10:10 in Eve time. Okay, we now have 4 people participating, so you will need to join the chat. And I'm logging in. Okay, and let's start inviting people. If you have just created a character to participate in this raffle, it will take a little bit of time before the game can actually locate you. But that's fine, I will retry in a moment. But if you made a typo, please check that there has been a typo and I need your proper in-game character name. Okay. I'm copy pasting your nicknames as you have written them in the chat, so please double check that they are correct there. Okay, this one appeared. Also interesting, it says that you have been created 6 days ago, but apparently nobody ever queried that name, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so Miksuvi has joined us, and still Molnia Dev 2. Well, that happens. It takes time just for the system to recognize the character. wonder if I can do partial name search. Nope. Nope, not working like that. Okay, and now it works. Awesome. You just need to do a lot of attempts. It's fine. It's all fine. So, yeah. Any more people who would like to join the raffle? And Molnia Dev 2, you need to log in if you can. We are waiting for 3 more minutes until timer in game says 10:10. If there will be just 3 people here in the chat, then there will be no need for raffle. Otherwise, we can begin doing that. Okay. So yeah, we are going to raffle probably this awesome white glaze piece. Okay, that's weird. Never mind, let's raffle something else. Can we raffle this counterbalanced mining laser, oh yeah, gyro stabilizers, great. Okay, well. So last minute for anybody who wants to join the raffle, and then Eva Ambramotte, you have maybe 2 more minutes to join the chat. Okay, so yeah, the raffle participation is closed, and we will start raffling at 10:13. Honestly, any. Because you get 1 million skill points, you can pick any faction, a starter faction. But the most convenient one would be the one that you want to join for factional warfare. So if you want to join Minmatar, which are now at tier 5, you probably want to start at Minmatar so that you are closest to the factional warfare space of Minmatar. If you want to join Kaldari, then do that. Just join Kaldari. Otherwise, if you want like overall best pick for just damage and frigate, then maybe Galente. Because Galente frigates have those blaster weapons. Okay, so we have now 4 participants. And I will create hypernodes, 8 hypernodes raffle. There will be 3 of them sequentially. And let's start. Yes, confirm. So you need to buy 2 tickets each. Whoa, that takes a lot of time. So you win by purchasing tickets to this raffle. If you win this counterbalanced compact gyro stabilizer, you also win 100 million. That's simple as that. And you cannot purchase more than 2 tickets. If you purchase more than 2 tickets, then I will just give out the rest to other 3 participants. So whoa, that's slow. Okay. Okay, so I have it here. I think if I do it this way, I should be able to link it in the chat. So now, please purchase your tickets. Okay, that's not that. Okay, fine. Yeah, this should be it. Now you should be able to join. Yep. So only Eva left. Well, I can participate for that character, I guess. You just need to click on that HyperNet offer, and then on the ticket, next to the ticket, you get this ISK icon, and you click it, and you get confirmation. So you basically double click these tickets. Okay, great. And so you won it, I guess. Right? Yes. So Eva, you get the first 100 million. And I will create another raffle right now so that we have time to prepare. Also private, create. Congratulations. And that would be first one. Okay. Now. Yep, you're welcome. Okay, that probably will be the only day when we are going to do it this way. Definitely needs to be some better way of doing these raffles. This is just incredibly slow. Okay, maybe we can make this faster. So let's use some online random number picker, if you are okay with that. So please, the remaining participants, type any number in the chat. Any numbers that you like. Okay, so Mixuvi, your number is 2, 1, and I need one more number. 14, okay. And pick a random item. And the winner is number 1. So, Jumpy Wizard. you get 100 million ISK from corporation, of course. I'm clicking the wrong one. Transfer corporation cash. That's it. Okay. And now for the last two participants. So 2 and 11. Yeah. And the winners too. So, MixV, congratulations, you get the final raffle for today, 100 million ISK. Yeah, sorry, if it did rolled out, you would have got it. There is just one basically 3 participants, so 3 numbers. Okay, thank you all for participation, and let's return to our trading routines. And I will return chat into normal mode. Yes, Uwe, I thought that it was you who entered that 14, not Eva. Because, yes, obviously she already participated in this raffle, and there will be no 2 winners in the same raffle. I mean, no person can win 2 times. That is quite obvious rule. So, let's get back to farming. And the chat is now in normal mode. What are we doing? So we had farmed some ISK. Now we need to haul some stuff to Amar, set up trade orders there, so that we have a chance to sell those things. Yep, I hope you will enjoy the next ones, and I hope you win next time. I try to do raffles basically on every stream, and if there will be more people participating, then I will probably eventually increase the amount of prizes as well. Well, hello, first of all, welcome. What I'm doing is I'm basically creating multiple alpha clone accounts, as if I started playing EVE Online from scratch this year, and I'm using my existing EVE Online knowledge and the tools that I know about, and some of them which I have personally programmed, to basically speedrun the first few months of playing EVE Online to get to Omega, basically to be able to buy PLEX with in-game currency as soon as possible, to get Omega account as soon as possible, and to establish a stable income stream for your character as early as possible in the game, so that you basically can enjoy playing the full game without paying subscription fee if you decide so. And so far, I would say it's going quite well. There have been a small hiccup with me trying to do exploration and probably having extremely bad luck because I got just 20 million ISK from exploration loot after spending, what, 3 hours of exploring in null security space. So I dropped that, and now I'm doing Factional Warfare to farm money. And Factional Warfare doesn't pay out you ISK, so it would be necessary to hold things and sell things if you want to get decent ratio to sell loyalty points for ISK. And the fastest method, incursions are good. Actually, I plan to do incursions later, but maybe not before I complete the Omega subscription goal. But after that, I will definitely devote some time demonstrating you how you can do incursions as an alpha account. Now, for fastest method, definitely Factional Warfare. So Factional Warfare is beyond any doubt. So, like, just in today's stream, we got how much? More than 100 million ISK in loyalty points already. So we have completed 2 novice plexes for 32 million ISK, and then 1 small plex for 56 million ISK payout, so you can do the math. The only challenge is that when you are small player, you don't have much cash, you don't have tools, ships, and experience necessary to do bulk extraction of loyalty points. And if you don't extract like 1 billion ISK worth of loyalty points at a time, then it's not very efficient in terms of time. That's why we're so slow. The play time that we have to invest, it takes time. But we are trying to mix things up and do things efficiently, so Factional Warfare has cooldowns for novice plexes and small plexes about half an hour. And when we are done with 1 plex, we go and we do hauling, and we deliver things between systems. Well, I would not say that salvaging or looting wrecks is anymore like extremely profitable. There are some people who suggest that you can earn first ISK by going to low security space and looting whatever you see. If some players had PvP activity and left loot behind, then you can in theory find some 10 to 20 million ISK in a wreck. But low security space is not extremely safe, and if you are going to loot something, then, well, you will be at a greater risk than usual, I would say. Also, if you don't know how to survive there, then that's not safe either. And if you do, then Factional Warfare, it's just better. Well, if you want some content for fun, there are plenty of things to do in EVE. Like salvaging, yes, you can do it. What you need for salvaging is basically a frigate and then the destroyer. So with frigate you need to have the scanner frigate and fit combat scanner probes, and there you will have to basically, well, find other players doing level 4 missions in popular mission running hubs. And once you have found those, you will basically be able to bookmark those locations, and when they have left those places, you will be able to come, loot, and salvage. Salvaging is legal. Looting will make you a suspect, but if you are okay with that, then you can do that. The problem is that it is not very efficient. Most players nowadays use salvage drones and mobile tractor unit, and if they don't, then their wrecks are probably scattered across hundreds of kilometers, and you need to travel between each of them because you cannot use tractor beams being alpha count, and because those are not your wrecks. Tractor beams cannot use on them, so the speed of looting is very slow. There used to be corporations that would actually buy locations from mission running players, like basically bookmarks, for a fixed payout, like half of the loot, or half of the estimate of the loot. And they will just sell those bookmarks and abandon all the loot, and a salvager specialized player who has Omega account in many cases, because you need to have Noctis ship, which is specialized in salvaging, which has extremely long range tractor beams and bonuses to salvaging difficulty. Then this kind of ship arrives, loots everything, warps to the next bookmark, and keeps doing that. But even that is not really profitable. I think they had like 20-30 million ISK per hour tops. And that is for Omega activity, because you have to have that Noctis. There used to be a special name for players who just do salvaging on destroyers. This was called ninja salvaging, and it's still called that, but it's nowadays not so popular anymore. Yes, if that's supposed to be a raised hand, you have a question? You can just type it in the chat. Or if it is a welcome, then hello and welcome. I would like to get to Amar before the downtime and set up the first sell orders from this trade character, and then I will probably be done for today, and I will continue maybe either Thursday or Friday, somewhere during the day as well. Factional warfare, beyond any doubt. It's just simple answer. It is the most profitable activity. The only problem is that it is a little bit challenging to start up factional warfare, because you need to have a little bit of risk before you can cash out things. and you need to have some hauling capable ship to allow yourself a little bit more convenient hauling of materials that are necessary. But even then, you can see that what we have been doing in these streams is mostly factional warfare. And I think right now we are at 18-hour mark, and there was 170 million ISK in loyalty points, about 50 million ISK, maybe 40 in just ISK, and another 34 plus million ISK. After we hold this, it might even turn into 60 in the form of goods. So any frigate, basically when you start playing as an alpha, you have these training missions. I strongly recommend now to complete basically, if not the first starting sequence. If you are okay with gameplay already, then you don't have to do that. But go to career agents and complete the first 3-4 missions for both military and advanced military agent. They will give you a frigate for free. And they will also give you some ISK that you can later use to cash out loyalty points with data cores, for example. Once you have those, then you just take that frigate, even if it is unfitted. It's okay to just fly with unfitted ship and do defensive plexes. And then you can fit it, and then you can arm it better and do even offensive destroyer plexes, as we have figured out in this stream. Today with tier 5 and the top system, the top contested level was 20% for Minmatar military, for example. It means that novice defensive plex in that system would give you 5 million ISK. That's 10 minutes of just hanging in space next to a beacon. Make sure that you don't get killed by just escaping if somebody tries to kill you, and you will get that money. If in doubt, I strongly suggest reviewing the maybe first 2 streams from this series, because that's what I did exactly. Like starting up as an alpha with nothing. You just get through the missions to the first frigate and you go do defensive plexes. So what about skills in trading for this character? Okay, so this one we definitely want to apply skill points to. Extra orders are very important. And we can also... Do we have money for that? Probably do. No. Okay, never mind. A bit later. Well, that depends, because most activities will actually require you to have quite heavy investment in skills and ships before you can do them very well, and maybe even having more than one Omega account. So the best activities at the moment is probably Abyssals, but for those you need to have very expensive ships. You need to have extremely high skills, like personal piloting skills of your ship, maybe even better than PvP skills on average. And then, well, you need to have experience with abyssals, so you have to start small and then grow up as you learn how to play those. Then incursions pay out quite nicely in high security space for activity that is more or less safe, but you still need to have a quite expensive ship, reasonably high skills invested into incursions. Wormholes. If you want to live in a wormhole solo and do extremely profitable solo wormhole farming with capital ships, then, well, that means you need to have 2-3 capital ships. That's a lot. If you want to live in a corporation, then you need to have a very good Tech 3 cruiser for that specific corporation with which you live. And maybe then later specialize in capital ships as well. In no security space, ideally, again, you need a capital ship to farm. Yes, I guess that's very good advice, actually. So long as you don't need Omega to make money, so long as you are not certain that you will be able to pay for Omega with the activities that you have chosen, then you probably don't want to go Omega. For most profitable activities in EVE Online, you really want to join some corporation or alliance, and then it's up to you where you want to live. So if you want to live in null security or wormhole space, both of them have activities that are quite lucrative. In null security space you can do combat site explorations, which are extremely profitable, although quite random. You can do mining, you can do, well, belt ratting is no more, but anomaly ratting is very much alive. And with new bonus systems and ESS and different banks mechanics, they make it a little bit more interesting, but you need to be a part of a corporation and alliance. Now, for everything else, high security space incursions for sure, low security space factional warfare is still a good thing. Even if you are Omega, you can probably get yourself a slightly better ship once you have access to cloaking devices, once you have access to MGD plus cloaking trick on heavier ships that allows you to survive better while navigating. Well, yeah, just staying with factional warfare, but you want to do then offensive plexes primarily and missions. So if you do a lot of factional warfare early, then you will get standings with basically the corporation for which you are fighting, and that will enable you to access mission agents from them, which are not exactly as mission agents for high security space or low security space and normal ones. The missions are much easier, but they are all in low sec and against factional warfare. And they have also this beacon mechanics, meaning that when people arrive, they will have some way to find you on that mission. Okay, yeah. I need to relog and give myself money again. Hello. Also in low security space you can get those combat plexes, and you can do level 5 security missions for agents, and well, you can do mining, you can do belt ratting to get better, to kill special NPCs that drop very expensive loot. Those happen. I don't know how often and how well it pays, but in theory that's possible. So yeah, if you're living in low security space, it's also quite reasonable location. It's all risk versus reward. You can find a place to live based for your style, I guess, in EVE Online. I think we have quite good chance of selling this ammunition quite rapidly. Well, maybe not today, but within a couple of days. Hopefully before the next stream. So, the bets are made for the market. I guess I will wrap up the stream for today. So, thank you for participation. Again, the next one will be Thursday or Friday. I will post the notification slightly later, probably tomorrow. And the time will be around the same 10 o'clock my local time or 8 o'clock EVE server time. And let's see how our trade will actually improve our assets by that time. So thank you for participating, thank you for watching, and fly safe.